Welcome back to a brand new episode of My Mood and Food. And today we are talking about what is seed cycling, which I, for one, would like to know, and what are the benefits of it. So, Margaret, give us the lowdown.
This is something that I've been looking into and following for a short while. Like quite a lot of the things, it's possibly come over from, well, the popularity's probably come over from the US, but this kind of thing has been going for years in the likes of India and places like that. So you often find stuff like this, or, different things come from way back, but it's not been brought to the forefront till quite recently. Because let's face it, quite a lot of people are starting to look for alternatives to the normal side of medicine, shall we say. And as we do, we never knock that because that has its place. But looking at other things, potentially alternatives,
Hmm.
could be used to either support or, to either take a completely different route and go down more of a natural route. So,
Yeah, particularly if I always think Western medicine's brilliant, but if you've got it comes with side effects, we all know
yeah,
that. And
yeah,
sometimes they don't affect some people, which is brilliant. It's working for you, carry on. But some people are looking for something different because they can't take X, Y, and Z, or if they take this medicine, they then end up with another three to counteract the side effects of the medicine that they started in the first place. So it could be useful for people for that.
exactly. So it's also known as seed rotation, and it's basically swapping seeds in and out of your actual monthly eating habits. So it's used to help achieve a better and more balanced menstrual cycle. So you can start it young, you can start it at our age, you can even actually do it after the likes of when you lose your menstrual cycle through when you've actually gone through menopause. And this might sound a little bit woo woo to some people, but I've also tuned into my menstrual cycle and the moon cycles as well. You probably
Hmm.
know a lot about this, Adele, that I
I
actually
think that,
start.
well, they're very linked, aren't they? Because we are,
So,
I always says we are made up of a lot of water, and
yeah,
we do. It sounds woo-woo, but when you say that the moon controls the tides, and we know that, then it's less of a
yeah,
big link to think it has an impact on us.
yeah, exactly. So even if you don't have, if you have a regular periods or you're not having periods at all, you can use this by following the moon's cycle. So there's different ways around it, but there is now scientific research behind this that's been done to actually support seed cycling as well. And it's actually based on a 28-day monthly cycle. So if your days are a little bit different, just start on the 28-day cycle and then see how it fits in better with you. But it really is a nudge in the right direction, and it will be for a lot of people to start eating more real food and getting that real food into your actual diet. So
Mm.
this can be very much of a starting point for many women out there, just to start eating more real food, more natural food, and that alone will also help your cycle as well. So it can really help with your hormone imbalance to ease that PMT, that PMS, but also lessen pain as well from anyone that suffers from endometriosis and symptoms that relate to PCOS, polycystic ovary syndrome. That's it, right?
Sounds right.
But it can also help you feeling with that fatigue, your sleep disturbance, and irregular cycles as well. So quite powerful. Just these little
Mm,
things, little seeds can be so powerful in helping us with our monthly cycle.
fascinating. Like I say, things like this have been around forever, haven't they? In terms of like Ayurveda, in Indian medicine and Chinese medicine, and before we developed the Western medicines, there was much more reliance on plants. And I always think it's funny how these things they do work and they do help, and they have now, like you said, got some science behind it, which is brilliant. But they may have fallen by the wayside because Western medicine is kind of a bit easier. You just take this pill every day and blah blah blah. Um, but I think people are looking back now to those ancient traditions, and we must have been given all these plants for a reason. Like why, if you think of the way that our body works, and it's so aligned to plants and to the food that we, it's so it's meant to be. Why were we given things like, all the nuts and seeds and berries and things that have a different impact on all those minerals that we need and those kind of things if it wasn't meant to be that we use them?
Exactly. I'm just going to note here that seeds can actually have the effect of changing your hormonal fluctuations. So just check with your medical professionals to know what specific hormones actually you need to pay attention to. Specifically, if you've gone through breast cancer, because obviously that can be due to estrogen dominance.
Mm.
And if that's the case, please do check with your medical professional before trying to start this, because quite a lot of the seed cycling will be dealing with either a shortcoming in hormones or the likes of the estrogen dominance. So just check with your medical professionals beforehand.
Yeah, and you might not be able to get that done if you just go to your doctors. That's the people might think, oh, I won't be able to get that done, but I think you
No,
can obviously do these kind of things
yeah,
privately.
you can actually get tests that do check your different
The
hormonal
problems with
levels and
hormones is
levels.
they fluctuate all the time, don't they?
Yeah,
So if you go and get it checked, presumably if there's places that do this, they bear that in
yeah,
mind and you can get it checked
absolutely.
every week or something like that.
Yeah, they do specifically on the actual hormone that they're trying to detect. There'll be different times in the month where they're more dominant, that then you can actually go and get those checked. So
Yeah, but check it at the right time.
check it at the right time of the month. So seed cycling is not seen as dangerous, and it doesn't pose any major health risks, literally because the natural products, they can help you feel better as well to regulate your hormones and reduce that PMS. But it's not going to be the magic cure. So this is to be taken in consideration with your lifestyle, the food that you're eating, and your alcohol consumption as well.
Yeah, like everything, if you have a really unhealthy lifestyle, you don't go to bed till 2 in the morning, you're hardly getting any sleep, you
Yeah,
don't exercise, and you
yeah,
eat rubbish, but you start seed cycling, it might not have the same effect. So it's part of this is the thing with
yeah.
holistic medicine, it's looking at every aspect,
Mm.
even also I'm not that great at this, but I am trying to get better, using the likes of the doTERRA essential oils and supplementing those in place of chemicals. So it's like it's the amount of chemicals that we use on our skin and our cleaning products and all of that stuff. So yeah, holistic healthy lifestyle, it's kind of a big picture, but like you say, this might be a nice way to start. Sometimes it's just nice having a framework of, oh right, I can try this, it's structured and you can just see, even if you don't tweak everything,
This
tweak,
is the
tweak
start.
one thing at a time and see what works for you and what has the desired effect. If you feel like you've got more energy and less mood swings and things like that, then it might inspire you to try tweaking other things as well.
Exactly. So I'll go through the seeds that are involved in this actual podcast, and I think we said that the next one, when it comes to seed cycling, I'll be going into what's when you take those specific seeds and Also, as well, give you a few ideas of what you can take those seeds with, because you're probably saying, okay, all these seeds brilliant, but what can I incorporate them with?
Yeah. Yes, we're going to split this one into two because there's
Yeah.
quite a lot to cover
Oh, yeah.
and hopefully release them fairly soon together so that there's not a massive gap. People left hanging waiting for the next one.
On the cliff edge.
Yeah, although that might be good.
Mm.
Cliffhanger. Like when you're waiting for the next Netflix episode to come out.
But then you've got the box set, you can go straight on to the next one. Oh,
Not when you're waiting for the next series and they leave you for like 12 months.
oh yeah, true. So first seeds is your flax seeds, and they're used to boost and balance estrogen. Might like give you a little bit of a hint of when to take them, but the goal of flax seeds is to strike that balance and avoid estrogen dominance, which estrogen dominance, whether you know or not, actually leads to breast tenderness. It also leads to bloating and weight gain. So when we go through perimenopause and menopause, we often get that little bit more belly. This could be a key reason why, because estrogen may be dominant. So flax seeds are really rich in isoflavones and lignans as well. And it's the lignans that actually help rid you of that excess estrogen. But
Does estrogen normally drop during perimenopause, or is that after? Because that's the problem, isn't it? When you get low estrogen because of
yeah,
menopause or perimenopause.
well, funnily enough, there's actually been, actual research done now that perimenopause, there can actually be quite peaks of estrogen. And there's many reasons, but one of the main reasons is because of the kind of chemical, artificial estrogen that you find in quite a lot of processed foods. Quite a lot of chemicals as well that are used to produce foods. So that is why I do my best to actually promote organic, simply because of the likes of sprays and what have you that are used on foods that can have these chemical estrogens in, but also processed food as well can have
Mm.
this kind of stuff in, which artificially increases our estrogen levels.
Hard, isn't it? Thinking where's that balance? Because you always think estrogen sounds like a good thing because
Yeah,
we tend to lack it. But yes, but anything too much of anything is not good, is it? It's
yeah.
all about balance.
But there's times in the month where you need estrogen, and
Yeah.
there's times of the month where it should be naturally less. So it's getting that balance, which is what the likes of flax seeds can support you doing. They can
Mm.
either block or encourage that estrogen wherever your body's actually at.
Yeah.
But it can also stop the conversion of testosterone to estrogen as well. Because testosterone, why is that word so hard to say? But yeah, testosterone can actually be converted to estrogen, which quite a lot of people might have not known.
Mm.
But because if estrogen is dominant, that's exactly what can happen. And as well, flax seeds have that high amount of fiber. The most out of the seeds that's actually involved in seed cycling. And fiber is extremely good for getting rid of that excess estrogen, literally because, and here it is, because you're going to poop it out.
Boo!
Exactly. So, as well, quite a lot of seeds have got omega-3 in them, flax seeds especially, which fight, I don't know whether you know, but omega-3 fights inflammation. and therefore flax seeds can actually help you stand up to the likes of PMS pain.
Mm.
A bit of a powerhouse there.
Yeah, sounds good. And we're going to go when to take it next podcast. So just for now, that's the
Actual
benefits of,
flax seed.
yeah.
Yeah, there's actually 4 different seeds involved within
Hmm.
the seed cycle. So there's also pumpkin seeds.
Are these to be taken each week of the cycle then?
There's two
Or am I
two lots of
jumping ahead?
seeds. You are. There's 2 lots of
Tell
seeds
me
to be
now.
taken at a certain point, and then 2 lots of seeds to be taken at another certain point in your
Okay.
cycle. So flax seeds and pumpkin seeds go together, and then I'll go on to the other 2 seeds. But pumpkin seeds are high in omega-3 and omega-6 as well, because we need a balance of both. But they also have the lignans in as well, like flax seeds, so they can balance out the estrogen as well. So you might be starting to cotton on why these 2 are very good together
Hmm.
to get those balance right. And they're another one that can also minimize your menopause symptoms.
Minimize your menopause symptoms.
The likes of hot flashes, joint pain, headache, etc., etc. These are a really good one for that. And again, they reduce the excess of estrogen. And they're also receptive as well to actually, when you have a lot of estrogen when it comes to breast cancer, they can actually reduce that by over 10% of women who are actually through the menopause. So it's a good idea if you've gone through the menopause to include pumpkin seeds in your diet to stop that breast cancer.
Yeah, you don't often think of eating all these different seeds, though, do you? So it's good to think of why, like the thing about eating things that are good for you and what you can incorporate them in, and things like I always say I have my yogurt for breakfast, and I had it this morning and put some strawberries on it, a few chopped nuts. And what seeds do I have? Like I have the chia seeds, and then I have linseed. Couldn't think of the name of it. And that's just helpful for like digestion. It feels like it works
Yeah,
for me anyway. But that's all I have in my cupboard. And, knowing the benefits of all these extra seeds and you could, like you say, going to go through next time how you can incorporate, but I can just imagine on soups and salads and, yogurt and things like that is going to be a good way because it adds a bit of crunch, doesn't it? And a
it
bit more
does. It does.
taste.
It does, definitely. And I know a lot of people that I work with, and I think this may have something to do with ADHD as well, like the noise, the crunching.
Mm,
So
just
if you
that
haven't,
texture, isn't it? I think we like that
yeah,
texture. We just like that crunch, don't we? I think that's why people kind of like crisp as well. It's not just the flavour, it's
no,
the
it's
crunch.
that
So it could be a
crunch.
bit of an alternative to snaffling on crisps. Get your pumpkin seeds out. Are you going to give us an idea next episode of quantities? Because
Yes,
I know with
exact
nuts, I
quantities.
could eat a bag full of Brazil nuts, but I daren't because of
Wildly.
the calories. And you only really need one or two, I suppose, a day.
Yeah,
So I limit myself to one or two and just chop them up. But
yeah,
yeah, same thing with, seeds really. It's how many would we be sprinkling on and how much do you need to get that
yeah. I'll give you
benefit?
the exact amount, no problem at all. So moving on to the second phase as it was, you've got sunflower seeds, and these can help reduce pain and bloating from your menstrual cramps. So if you've watched or even listened to the episode that I started talking about cycle tracking, you might start understanding what phase these come into. But they're also rich in vitamin B1 and B6 and also magnesium to support lessening that PMS. They're a great source of vitamin E, which helps increase progesterone. And sunflower seeds also remove excess estrogen as well from the body, which is really good because obviously if you're thinking progesterone is on the increase and that's where it needs to be, you don't want that extra estrogen there to knock out the progesterone. They're a great source of iron, which all of us women can be low in,
Mm,
especially if you've got heavy bleeds.
yeah.
Uh, and as I said, B vitamins and sunflower seeds can actually boost your mood and
Mm,
reduce, which can also help with those PMS symptoms as well.
mm. Clever,
And
isn't it?
it's very, very
The right type of, just the right type of things that you need, like low mood, bloating. Is that all the right benefits in the right little seeds?
Mhm. And at this time, when these seeds are supposed to be taken, as you mentioned at the feral cat phase,
Mm, yes.
that's when a serotonin's low.
Mm,
So that kind of makes
the
sense.
happy hormone.
Yeah.
We're not happy. And we're not afraid to tell people that we're not happy. The feral cat phase is very much don't go around telling everyone what you think, but
Yeah,
don't ignore it either.
exactly. It's
So
there for
maybe
us to use.
journaling. Then when you're feeling in your power, when you've taken the right seeds, you can
Mhm.
tell people you're not willing to put up with that anymore. And this is why, in a more balanced way.
Exactly. But the seeds, because they've got those B vitamins in, have the ability to help you reduce your anxiety around that phase and help with that kind of mood swing as well. So they are absolute little powerhouses.
Mm,
And last but not least, sesame seeds.
hmm
They also have this hormone regulating lignans in, which I think all of them do, and essential fatty acids. And they're also high in zinc as well, which can help wash those period pains. And they can help revive your periods as well. So if you're, well, whatever stage you are within your menstrual cycle, I normally find that younger people may have difficulties with regulating, or
mm,
even if you're under a heck of a lot of stress, that's when your periods can sometimes go a little bit awry. But sesame seeds can actually really help jumpstart and frequent periods. And as they're actually full of zinc, this helps boost progesterone. And researchers actually found that progesterone and zinc actually work together to achieve that hormone balance.
mm. Right, I'm off down the shop to get my seeds.
So that's your introduction, why
Wow.
seed cycling and seeds can really, really help. And
Mm,
as I said, Adele, next time I'll go into the specific phases and, you know, ideas for helping you get these
yeah.
seeds into your everyday diet.
So I think people will be hanging on the edge of their seat. So you might have to hang on for a few weeks, but hopefully won't leave you too long to find out more. But for now, I think go and get your seeds
Yeah,
is the
go and get
idea.
them.
Go and get
Wait.
them. And yeah, you might be able to start having a play with that off
Absolutely.
the information that you've already given about, if the seeds are meant to be helping with PMS and bloating, then it gives you an idea of that week
Yeah,
before and that kind of thing and week after. So yeah, you can have a play. Like you say, it's all natural stuff, so it shouldn't have any adverse effects, just eating nature's medicine, and having all those wonderful benefits and having those things in the seeds, like the zinc and the B vitamins and all of that stuff. It's so good for us. And better than really, oftentimes we think we've got to take lots of multivitamins and things like
yeah,
that. You are eating a more wide variety of good foods, then you might find that you don't need to be, eating, taking as many of the supplements,
Yeah, we could be saving you money.
Yes, these are cheaper, hopefully. So thank you so much, and definitely let us know if you found this episode of interest. I know I did. Pop us a comment. I have had a lady recently say she's been binging on our podcast, which is amazing.
Hey!
It's like listening to, she said they're a bit addictive. She's listening to a lot. So, if she's listening, hello, if you know who you are. And if you want us to give you a little shout out on the podcast, let us know, and we're happy to
Yeah,
give you a
definitely.
shout out, like on the radio.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, all the usual things, you know what to do, I hope, and tune in for the next one. Look out for the um next episode on seed cycling. Seed cycling part 2 is going to be coming soon. Thanks so much, Margaret.
No problem. See you soon, Adele.
Bye.
Bye.